Hello everybody, welcome to the Hotdog Henry stream of Logan 5 Run. Welcome back, rather. We had a little bit of a detour into Morrowind and a little bit of the Mojave. So it's been a while since we've had some hot dog. We're coming back, hopefully with a ravenous appetite. To chow down on Hotdog Henry today. Hello Barbarian, thank you for reporting to duty. The military industrial complex will use your life with great efficiency. Thank you 40, thank you, amazing meeting you today. I'd just like to share this art I received. I think Radzig got a special treat the other day and I got a treat today. Beautiful work by 40 here. Thank you so much. This is really good. Makes it all worthwhile. And I can speak for all of us when we're really treasuring this stuff. And I know you said that you don't really mind, but the EGR is just a way of making sure that you are credited for things, because I know it's a bit of a rough and tumble out there at the moment with the AI coming after you all and so on. But fantastic. And this is great. And this is the kind of thing I can share on my Instagram because it kind of looks like me. So PetroCat2's also expressing her compliments in the background there. I don't know if you can hear her. Ooh. Can you hear that? Yeah, there you go. Can you hear it? Yeah, okay, yeah, there you go. So PetroCat2 also expresses her support. So thank you once again. And I'll just want to take this opportunity at the beginning to thank Michael Pitton for being such a good sport and coming and joining us on the Morrowind kind of comedy retro stream. We really enjoyed it. The response was positive, so I think you'll see that again. Some point in the future when our schedules can be worked out. Yeah, he was locked in. Yeah, he was really locked in. Yeah. That's right, Bonatv. After that meme of the 1,000-yard stare was perfect for Michael afterwards. He was so... Imagine what he'd be like in Kingdom Come, though. That's why we needed to start with something like Morrowind. Although I was saying to Jim, this... Morrowind can go on forever. It's so massive, it's ridiculously massive game. So I don't know if we'll ever get him to the Nerevarine, etc. or not. I didn't even know what that is yet. Maybe knowing Michael though, knowing him, he's probably locked into the Morrowind wiki page and learning all about Vivek and Aldrun and all of these places. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, you saw how much I was enjoying it. I was pissing myself. It was so funny. But when he nightmare saved it, when he permafucked the save, oh my god, that was bad. I did not cheat, by the way. I just didn't want to break the kind of illusion of the game too much by repeatedly dying. But I managed to get out of that situation on the 5th go. But there was no cheating, and it was really touch and go there. Hi Nadine. I thought we might have lost the whole thing, and that happened to me actually. I played an Argonian last time I think, and I got stuck somewhere down in the Ashlands, and I'd saved myself into oblivion. Well, not literally into oblivion. Oh, they're both prowling around. Yeah, so. That gave me a heart attack. But other than that, I had a great time, and we invented a new cocktail, and the Koffa Lob Mecca, which was great. I really enjoyed it, and it was good tequila. If it had been cheap tequila, I think it would have been bad. Whoa! What's happening? Okay, there's some disturbance in the force. I think it's quite hot in here. You need a pause screen so when that happens again, you don't have to turn the stream off. Yeah, okay, Felipe. Yeah. Okay, there's lots of things we need. I'll add that to the list of stuff that I really need to figure out. Yeah, it was funny his face of the tequila mix. Watching that afterwards, that cut was great. Yeah. Greetings, Outlander. Yeah, yeah, we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back. Yeah, for sure. But again, it might be a bit irregular until we get a studio of our own, and then maybe other things can happen. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'd enjoyed it as well. I was saying to people like, look, picking these games. It's a little bit like picking plays that I used to do for my theatre company. You know, it's kind of giving like art direction to the stream with the games you play. And when I was looking at Morrowind, it was like, yeah, I think this is going to be really funny. Kind of like looking at it like an old, out of date comedy. Um, Thank you, Gruffy Gruff. Yeah, we enjoyed it, and also, you know, it was a good time, you know, in the evening on Saturday night and stuff. And I appreciate we had those sleepover vibes and all getting a bit Stranger Things. Um, Yeah, and also just like to thank Jim as well for meeting up with me yesterday to satisfy one of the requests at Malashoff. We just give you a little taste of something a little bit darker and a little bit more tragic, as well as something for House Thought from Speed the Plough. This is just us really reading in a studio, so we wanted to do something a little bit for Hysteric Week. To give you a bit of content from, you know, plays that we've done before that might kind of resonate with Hysteric in different ways. I think Faustus certainly does. As again, not 100%, but I think that there's a Faustian thing in Istvan. It's why it's kind of like Rocky Horror coded as well. For those of you who've been making that connection, I think that's probably valid. Yeah, well, we've done that play a long time. So it's actually a pretty casual reading, and it's a taster really, because you know when we're on stage and we're fully in mode and you can see us and there's lights and all this kind of thing. It's very different. But we did promise to do that, so we did want to make good on our promises there. That was reasonably casual, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's different because we were sitting and reading, right? And obviously that yeah, I do keep my promises. Yeah, I do. Unlike some people. Yeah. So and we've done Faustus a couple of times. And obviously rehearsed it a lot, but we've done a couple of like big productions of it. I spoke about them on one of the podcasts. And I just want to bring up one part of that second production. I've talked about it a little bit before on a podcast, but not on the stream. So for people who don't know, we've done it a few times in Prague. Faustus, it's a bit of a Prague legend. You know, you've got the Faust House here on Karlovo na Mesti and various other kind of locations with that. But the second time we did it, when we were talking about temptation, we set it in the kind of imperial splendor age of kind of British Victorian Empire, and the demon that was like tempting people back then was of course drugs, you know, like opium and gin and you know it was a very like because all this stuff was flowing in from the rest of the world, and it was quite, you know, baroque and anarchic, and we like the costumes from that period, and we thought we could look at it as a kind of well, yeah, okay, I'm being technical. I mean, it wasn't like a full production, like we're on stage and in costume and all of that. But yeah, so we did the temptation as alcohol and as drugs, and it's kind of interesting that connects to Nettle Dog now. So I just wanted to bring that up, and we might refer to it a little bit later. But and certainly the first time we played it quite bare bones, I would say, but the second time it had a kind of like a level of message about empire, really a critical message about empire, that the Faustian spirit in some ways is the spirit of that British Empire, but also all the other European empires of that time, and that some of those minds, you know, you've got books like Confessions of an Opium Eater, this kind of thing, kind of fed into the kind of art design of that. But so the people that tempted him into magic, right? One of which was played by Mark Cram, who is one of the well-known actors from Kingdom Come. They were kind of tempting this kind of Victorian gentleman into a life of opium addiction, effectively, and all the rest, all the other crazy stuff that was going around. So his descent into, the pact with the devil was very much kind of coded like that. But then we have this meme, and I kind of hesitate to call it a meme, right? Which is this choice between nurture, nature, and nettles, right? And it's difficult to know when a meme is art and when it isn't. I don't know if I've really settled on that yet. I think I can argue myself into believing that a meme is art, all memes are art, but I can probably argue myself the other way about that. But to some extent, is Nettles the third way? I think is a really good question from Bublina, I believe. So, because there's something inherent in man, right, or woman, or mankind, humankind, that expresses itself from the DNA, right? And then that kind of interacts with the environment that you would see as nurture, right? So some Henry rolling around in the nettles is effectively nurture, right? Would you include that in nurture? I appreciate the play on words, but would you include that in nurture? And then maybe thinking about nettles as a stand-in for the devil's nettle, which it has kind of become in this thread as we do a kind of pharmo-critical kind of reading of Henry. Because if you take enough of a drug, I think, and for long enough, it's almost like you're possessed by that drug, right? Like your personality becomes subsumed into the general personality of that drug, and you can take it from various stereotypes, from pothead to meth head, right? Like the spirit of that plant, right? To some extent, it's the spirit of the plant is kind of taking over the person, and we can say that. So we can bundle all that into nurture if you want. We can bundle it all into nurture because we can talk about how people are exposed to drugs and why they're exposed to drugs. Maybe we can pull it back into nature by talking about genetic tendencies towards addiction, maybe epigenetic tendencies, blah 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 blah. But I wonder whether he's being consumed by the nettles and what he becomes at the end. The little boy Henry, right? This romanticized little boy Henry, who's been murdering people for weeks now, hacking people to pieces and consuming loads of salad, right? Plant salad. Is he becoming that inner nettle? We joked about it. He's becoming one with the plant spirits, because really that's what happens. It's the spirit of the plant. The plant has an effect on people, right? A specific effect. So we can say that's kind of the spirit of the plant. Anyway, so this is the path to Full Metal Alchemist, and I've got a few notes here for you today. Later on, thank you, Wow Roti, your benefactor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this game started by rolling around in the nettles, and I didn't know which path it was going to take, and you have had a lot of choice over that, and we've gone with various things like the books being real, right? And anyway, let's. If anybody's got any other questions that are not related to the game, if you want to ask them now, because people told me they wanted to chat for a little bit. So if you have any questions now that are unrelated to the game, and then we'll get started. So just quickly, if anyone has any. The monastery is something I want to talk about today for sure. Yeah, and the shadow being monks. Don't let me forget that. The shadow monks. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. I'm getting a little bit worried about those cats. Shave your schnaps. Yeah, we're doing some monk talk today. We're doing some alchemy talk. We're carrying on doing a bit of basic alchemy. We might go to Sasau. That's the plan. There's no major story going. The Name of the Rose. Great story. Yeah, we'll definitely watch the trailer, Helena. I cannot guarantee anything else. Don't smoke nettles. I think that's important to recognise. Yeah, don't smoke nettles. All right. Okay. So nobody has any other questions. Great. Okay. Then I'll get started. Yeah. Good recommendation there. Good recommendation for getting into this world. I guess. I think we can just continue. Pretty sure. Yes, because we walk back here. All right. Okay. So. Let's just pull this in a little bit. Yeah, so my plan today, we'll go and chat to the nightmares down the by the pond. That's Sergeant Michael Eldritch Horse. I asked you if you wanted questions, and you didn't have any questions, so we started. See you, Nella. Bye bye. Thank you for managing. Thank you for coming here. To get used to it not being Morrowind again. You don't have nettles in your country, really? Okay, what part of the world is that? Yeah, be your own nettle. Be the nettle of someone else's day. Don't think there are killable rats in Kingdom Come, but I don't know for sure. No, this isn't Morrowind, no, but apparently Kingdom Come was based on Morrowind. Alright, so because we're discussing nettles then, I have a confession to make. Somebody gave me a gift, and I've been trying to track down who it is without alerting them. But if somebody can own up to this gift, I'm very sorry I don't remember. I remember thinking, oh my god, this is an amazing gift. And I think it was a Malashov, and it just got lost in meeting everybody, and that was a crazy couple of days. So somebody very, very kindly sent me this book, or gave me this book. So please, if it was you, you can confess. Nettles. That's from Maria. Oh, thank you, Maria. Yeah. What, Maria of Skalitz? Was it Maria of Skalitz? Is it that Maria? Great, very, very sweet. Really like it. I think Maria was the one who came up to me and said, "After watching your streams, I finally get it," which I thought was one of the highest compliments I've ever been paid. Yeah. So I'm losing names again. I'm sorry. It's on the green prickly triangle. Nettle books are real. Yes, nettle books are real. We've combined two things. And nettles are real. Hey! Who is this? This is my spot. Who's this guy? No. You were really disturbing my peace there. Take your keys for that. Thank you very much. Now sleep. Finish my discussion. Yeah, it's like territorialism, right? This is what you're getting in touch with your inner shadow. You know, the reptile complex, as Nella was talking about. You know, the diencephalon. It was immediately activated there when when this guy entered my territory. It's the same with like lizards and snakes. This is basically what they run on. That could have been an Istvan spy. Well, he ain't spying on anything anymore, is he? Did I just kill my doppelganger? Did he have my face? I didn't even look. Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. I don't know. I've never seen it. We've never seen anyone come by this path, and we've sat here for a long time, guys. So that was kind of weird. And it had to be dealt with. This is our space. This is our space. Yeah, that's it. If alpha behavior is just giving into your reptile complex, this is just, you know, about territorialism and domination, then I don't know if I want to have that much to do with it. Boy things. Ooh, very interesting prickly triangle. Celtic lore suggests that nettles indicate fairy dwellings. Okay, Mooney. Sorry. I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him. Just put him to sleep for a little while. Just searched him. It was a grown spy, yeah, it could have been. Could have been a fairy. Could easily have been. What, you saying that we talked about nettles and that conjured the nettle spirits? Are you implying that there are other nettle dogs out there? Is that another nettle dog? Are we like the Blades, you know, in Morrowind? Are we like the Blades? Really, I didn't know that, Bratstvan. That is very interesting. Yeah, and remind me, in Ireland, it's a bit like... I heard in Ireland they have lots and lots of words for field. In the same way that the Inuit have a lot of words for snow, right? Because in Ireland there's a lot of fields. So they don't just say field. There's a specific word. I believe, fact check me, someone Irish here, there's a specific word for field with some rocks, field with a tree, field with a pond, field with hedges, right? Is this true? Someone Irish in the list can help me out. I've forgotten my ancestry. Yeah, right. You got lots of fields, right? You got loads of different words for fields. That's great. I'm surprised the English don't have, because we've got loads of fields as well. Oh, you have the same. Okay, all right. Yeah. They do in the southwest of the UK as well, in like Somerset and, you know, Glastonbury. You need to keep the fae spirits. Yeah, you need to keep them on your side. Anyway, so this book is about nettles, the healers of the wild. And it's their therapeutic, cosmetic and culinary use. So we were all joking about eating nettles, but apparently they are great sources of vitamin C, vitamin B and vitamin A. And Hippocrates once said, make your food your medicine and your medicine your food. Which is an extremely good bit of advice, as we all know. Not reinventing the wheel there, but yeah, needs saying every now and again. Yeah, exactly, in the Midlands, yeah, where we're from, eh? The local spirits are yeah, from Beaumont Leys. From Nuneaton. Go to the nettles, yeah, that's nice. Nettles are gluten-free, that's a good point. Maybe like they're kind of like a Czech seaweed, maybe. You know, they might use them for similar purposes. Right, yeah, we do. All right, so I'm just kind of sitting here chatting. I had a few things to say. If you don't know this stream at all, then you kind of have to understand that the books are real, and what Henry encounters in the books becomes real for Henry. And we're playing Henry in a neutral evil, kind of bisexual, proto-feminist, Marxist, superstitious way, where he's taking everything that's told him quite literally, but he is very intelligent. So he's committing to things, but with a lot of intelligence. And just that there's a kind of lot of lore there, but it's basically the books that are in the game. started kind of coming true in the world a little bit. And there's some things I missed last time, and then when I watch the stream again, I'm like, oh, there it is. But he's kind of at this point with Christianity and repentance at the moment, because he's kind of beginning to feel like he's doing a lot of sinning, right? Because he's done a lot of choking people out, he's done a lot of murdering. He's not really murdered any civilians, but he's been dabbling with the dark arts via the Necronomicon. And, you know, he cannot have grown up in this world without some knowledge that his soul is possibly at risk. And that's why I think Faustus was probably a good corrective for me to hear at the moment, because he wouldn't be unserious about that. I think it would take an extremely rare individual and of a very powerful will who would have been able to step out of that psychological paradigm at the time. So, but there are complications, right? And the complications are to do with the fact that he's kind of become on the side of the... Bring back the Deadites! Yeah. This is a Evil Dead reference. He's kind of begun on the side of the witches more and more, you know, and he's learning alchemy. He discovered the secret sausage scribes. All the intelligent people, all the scientist people seem to be considered the shadow by the church, right? All the people that are practicing this stuff, the church is kind of like trying to kind of clamp it down. But the church itself, as we learned in the books, has got 2 popes, right? It's silly. And because these people are taking this thing seriously, if you're not on the right side of the right, if you're not on the right side of the right pope, then you're going to hell forever. So it's really, really serious business, I would imagine. And I want to talk a little bit more about that when we're making some potions. The details of how the shadow of the church was the alchemists, and therefore the alchemist's shadow was the church. So I think, because we discussed this a lot with Ethelred, you know how Isfan is presented as the shadow of Henry for all sorts of reasons. But this Henry, and based on the experiences he's had so far, his shadow, I think, is the monks. I think is the monks. And I think his need for a shadow, because he has to have a shadow, because otherwise he's damned. He has to be able to blame something. He has to be able to say that the system that's judging him to be damned is somehow wrong, right? And the 2 popes thing is great evidence for that. Great evidence for the nettle scientists being the right team. But again, it's weighing on him heavily. And I just want to put that in there for the role play, so you kind of all understood what was going. Yeah, I know, and you guys love monks, so I thought we'd go on a bit more of a monk hating thing, get really into that, because he needs that. He needs them to be wrong, right? This is the thing. If you're judged, and LGBTQ stuff is a great example of this. If you're judged by the reigning institution of time to be somehow going to hell, for your crimes, right, against scripture or whatever, how are you going to justify that? You can justify it by defying that institution, by doing something secretive, right? So this is the same thing that the alchemists had. They were being largely, they were still being burned alive, right? Alchemists and scientists were still being burned alive, like 15... When was the last scientist burned? Completely forgotten the keys. Why is it not working? Played for a while. I also had a coffee yet. Normally, I also had a coffee today, and normally you see me playing while I'm drinking tea. Activity. I don't know if I've actually got any plants at the moment. We'll go up there and we'll have a look. Can we have a discussion stream about this? It's so interesting to talk to. We're going to do that today, I think. But I know, I can't drink coffee. I'm too sensitive to caffeine. Yeah, it is Maria. Yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah. Is it you, Maria of Scalets? Yeah. With the armor. Yeah, Giordano Bruno. Giordano Bruno exactly is who I was gonna talk about. And again, I want to bring up a few other people there in the mix. But this is all after. This is all kind of after this. This is 200 years later. So they've been burning alchemists for a good 200 years before that, let alone witches, you know. And often alchemists were, I believe, Jewish as well. So that was an extra element of, othering people and making them your shadows. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I think because of the cosmopolitan nature of the diaspora, the Jewish diaspora, I think they had access to ingredients perhaps that other people didn't have, as well as knowledge from the Arabic world. Yeah, Giordano Bruno's was immense. What a guy! Huh? Yeah, on Red Bull I am way too much. That's what happened at Malashov. I had a Red Bull towards the end of the night. It was not a good idea. All right, I am thirsty though, so I'm gonna have to take a quick load here before we get into the dark arts. It's so good, it's evil. Whew. This guy. Alright, let's go and see what we need first. But this guy was in green as well, so yeah, maybe you're connecting that. That was a spy. It was probably an alchemist. Was wandering by just to see if I was like a rival drug dealer or something, to see if I was coming up with my own supply. And I just choked him out. So there you go. Full Metal Alchemist. Have I considered asking Confler for sponsorship? Well, we'll see. As I said, somebody made me want to do jokes about, or someone asked me to do jokes about influencing. So this was one of them. But I do really like the drink. So, Confler, if you're out there, and if you want to give me a lifetime supply or a camel pack or something, so I can I've got like 4 litres of Confler on my back at all times in some kind of mask. I didn't learn the voice yet though. I kind of wanted to sneak up with that one. I hope I was successful. Oh yeah, but because I've sold 100 bottles of Confler, they're gonna look at me. All right. Yeah, exactly like the guy from Mad Max, but Confler. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Right. So generally, what I need then is. I like this potion. This is good, and it gives you the green eyes, but for some reason it doesn't have nettles in it, but that's okay. So that's Wormwood and Sage. It's incredibly easy. Right, this we bought. This is the red mushroom, belladonna, wormwood. Okay. That's the rage. We know about that. We've made a bunch of them. Save your schnapps, nettle and belladonna. Yeah. Marigolds, nettles, there you go. Alright, we could do with a bunch of these actually. Alright, I think we just need to go and get loads of stuff. So we'll go up to that field behind Ratai then where we went the other day and go flower picking. Oh my god, every KCD streamer is currently flower picking. Where's the violence? I came for the violence. That's why I need Fallout every now and again. I just need that. Just need a hit of like pure violence. We are going to find everything, hopefully, up in that field, unless somebody has got a better place for me to go. Yeah, I know Tom McKay's going to be loving this stream. Is he becoming a Full Metal Alchemist as well? Yes, I'm going to mention Kepler. Yeah. I've got a few other people I want to pull out later on, but we'll do that when we're cooking. But yeah, keep it going in the stream, it's fine. I am going to be mentioning Kepler today. Hey, there you are, Sergeant Michael. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Tom is a glass bandit. Oh, bless. That's good, right? Isn't that good? It started off as bad meaning, but isn't it a good meaning now? What Kepler did? Thanks, Wickenvale. That was a very astute observation. That is exactly what happened. I'm gonna get rid of this bow as well. I hate having it on my back in all the shots. It's just annoying. I don't even use it. Chaotic sweetheart. Well, yeah, that's what he's like in real life, isn't it? Bless him. Fungal infected caves. Yeah, okay, I'll keep that down today. That was too much for you guys, was it? Medical body horror. Yeah, I mean, it's probably considerably better at Farkle than me. I haven't played it anywhere near enough. Although it wasn't seeming to give me, like, agility returns, as promised. Well, I mean, if you want to get down into how many microorganisms are in you right now, I think it's at least 100 times the number of your cells, which is something like 6 trillion. So, but again, fact check me, but I think it's something like 600 trillion microorganisms per human body. Someone fact check me on that. If you want to get hypochondriac or paranoid about it, you're covered in these things. I don't want to say something like 600 trillion without someone fact checking me though. So just can someone Google that for me or something? Yeah, super misogynist. Yeah, I completely agree with you. And you know, obviously that's one of the things that we've got running in as a kind of sub, element to this stream. Did anyone do it? Has anybody checked me on that? 600 trillion? I can't move on until I'm checked. It's true, thanks. Alright, great. Thank you, Mary. It's fantastic. Yeah, so you've got 600 trillion microorganisms in you right now. Sleep tight! Thank you. I don't really want to appeal to ethos though. I feel that's a bit poor. I think you should check me when I come out with spurious things. 39 trillion. Okay. So what did I say? 600 trillion. I believe I said microorganisms, not just bacteria, and I think you might want to check whether that includes nanobacteria. I believe have recently been discovered doing something like cleaning your arteries. Well, they haven't been discovered that long. I missed that story. That looked quite interesting. I'll pick that up when I go through it. You do? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's so symbiotic, that relationship with your gut bacteria. You have to, the DNA codes for the relationship. Your DNA codes for that relationship. As opposed to just protects the lining on its own, it codes to protect the lining with the bacteria.
Yeah.
What? The music started. Am I the threat? There was a dog over there. Anyone know why that music started? I saw a black dog looking at me. That's not good. Can I find it now? These guys look shifty AF. Yeah, that felt like an omen, didn't it? That felt like an omen. All right, we'll go into that a little bit later when we got some more salad. I'm gonna nail dog these guys. Like, I feel that they've. What are you doing? I'm in a private area. Why is that private? Why is this private, eh? This is right outside Ratai. Don't kill them for a quest. Okay. I will spare you so the threads of whatever fate are not broken forever. This is the executioner quest. Yeah, well, he's giving into it, isn't he? He's giving into the inner nettle. You know, because if that's a snake consciousness, what is a plant's consciousness? You know, how murderous are a plant's thoughts? You know, if they had thoughts in the classic sense, they have like information exchange, right, within the plant. So assuming that's a thought of the plant, how murderous is a plant? Well, you guys can tell me, right? Lots of plants, when you speed them up, look like they're just choking each other out. Right, you seen that? Like, the plants like racing for the sunshine and others like killing it. Okay, thank you. Your name is in red. Can't see it, but thank you. That was a very nice thing to say. Yeah, you're not getting the snakes for a while. Yeah, it's the plot of The Happening. Yeah. I love that film. Oh my god, The Happening is like... The Happening is probably M. Night Shyamalan's best work. Oh yeah, and I had that other snakes thing for you. Yeah. Okay, so this other snakes thing was... Okay, so I came up with a sequel, and if this happens, right? If this happens, then some Hollywood producer was watching this stream, and they picked it up. But I thought it would be great to do a sequel to Snakes on a Plane, but on a space plane, right? In like 10 years in the future. So it's like Snakes on a Space Plane. So it's basically Snakes on a Plane, right? Exactly as the film that we know and love, but with zero gravity. No, that's my pitch. I've got to give it to him in one sentence, you know. Of course it will have Samuel L. Jackson. Unless he dies in the first one, I can't remember. Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay. It is the plot of Aliens. It is the plot of Aliens, but Aliens is a horror, you know. And snakes on a space plane. The P word should be censored. Patrick should be fine. All right, it's Alien. All right, it's been done. I remember there was this time my brother-in-law is a writer and produced a few of his plays, and Jim's been in them in Prague, and he's great. But I remember him sitting me down once, and he'd written the outline of this whole story, really good, detailed brief. You know, he'd put a bunch of hours in it, and he pitched it to me, and it was Children of Men. I was like, dude, that's great, but you've written Children of Men. He's like, what's Children of Men? I was like, your story. So it's a bit of a shame when you're late to the zeitgeist, you know. When you're late. You're just, hey. Now everybody's just finished making it. But I know this is a chilled stream today, but I just kind of like taking it easy. Had like a kind of busy few days. I'm so single child coded, really? I don't know what gives that impression. What gives you that impression? I would make Snakes on a Bass playing a stage play like that guy in oh god, what's the name of the film? Is it Rushmore or something? Where the kid is like staging Serpico at his high school. I'm giving little. You'd say I'm everything to everyone here. I'm sorry, that's not. None of this works. Yeah, there was too much violence in the Morrowind stream. I had enough of violence, man. Michael's a killing machine. Yeah, thanks, Leroy. Yeah, I know. Today I don't crave for violence. If it happens, if it comes for Lieutenant Hotdog, then he'll deal with it, but otherwise I crave late medieval intellectual simulator. Which basically involves pushing flowers together until they have some kind of pharmacoactive effect. Alright, we kind of went to sleep at the wrong time, that's why we ran out. Ooh, I'm late to that conversation, alright. I'm kind of looking at just the chat like, huh? Well, no, I'm following a directive from the media team that you like chatting more, and so I'm just giving you a bit of time. But also, there has to be a balance between game and the chat, otherwise it just degenerates into chat. And chat alone, unstructured chat is probably the most dangerous thing in the world. Yeah, games is pretty open, but I don't think it'll be open for... Whee! Okay, why am I up here? Okay, I'm with the sheep. The flock. Yeah, it's because this is the church. This is the symbol of the church right here. This is what's on his mind. I gotta go to Sasau. And I gotta face my shadow just a little bit. I'm just gonna have a poke around, I think. What they're doing over there. Wake up, sheeple! Hell isn't true. God doesn't care. And that's coming back to that deist thing about Ishtavan, right? Okay, so his philosophical way out of being considered an evil. Oh, I'm chasing the flock off a bridge. Yeah, there you go. Nell dog. It's like a sheepdog thing. Right. I'm not going to kill them all. I'm not going to kill them all. Ooh. Scalix was definitely an inside job. I definitely think that was true, but I guess we'll never know. But that's why Isig is one of the most interesting ships. Yeah. Please go back to that train of thought. Sorry, you have to redirect me. I got distracted there. Oh, great, thank you. You spread the word of the gospel. Koffler it is. And where are you taking it to, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, was I talking about Ishvan? Oh, the deist thing, you know, this is the stable boy theory. If like he did something that makes him feel responsible for terrible tragedy that happened because he was a sinner. He either lives his life like feeling guilty about what he is, right? Or he finds some way out of it. And I thought that the most Isvani way wasn't like a Faustian thing, but it was more like look, God exists, I'm not denying that because it's obvious, but he doesn't care about you or me. Right, doesn't care. He doesn't care enough to send you to hell, you know. Until of course we reach that moment in the tower where perhaps you're seeing something of this Faustian terror emerging, because he's like, no, I'm fucked forever. I did too much stuff wrong, and we'll see if Full Metal Alchemist is capable of repenting, but. He wouldn't be at the moment. He seems to be getting pro-science. Alright. What are we making? Well, actually, let's find out what we've got. Inventory. Alright, we've got a lot of dandelions, we've got a lot of nails. Let's make marigold concoction first, because that's very useful. I think wormwood. I think I would maybe be wormwood. Yeah, there's nowhere left to run. It's the Tam Tower, isn't it? It's the tower, the house of God. It's being struck by lightning. The whole world is going to collapse. He knows his symbolism. He sends Eric away with this fear that he might have crossed too many lines and just perma-fucked himself, which he did, I think. Wormwood, yeah, back to the worms. Thank you, Clever Pets. Never letting it go. I don't know what you've missed out, Mego. Someone else will have to update you. I think we just did a general introduction chatted what we were doing last time and did a few thank yous, and that's it so far. And we're having a chilled stream, and we are gonna make marigold potions. So we need water, 1 nettle, 2 marigold. Nettle in water, cook for 1 turn, leave to cool, drop in the marigold, but don't grind it anymore. Wait, don't boil it anymore. Do I need to grind this marigold? Oh yeah, I talked a little bit about microorganisms. We'll come back to that maybe. No, you just throw them in the pot. Okay, no grinding. All right, so cook nettle for 1 turn, leave to cool, drop in the marigold. Okay. And don't even have to distill it. That's it. Oh god, that's easy. All right, prepare. So water. Nettles. Cauldron. Okay, it's bubbling. Ooh, 1 turn. No distilling. Thanks, Cthulhu dude. Yeah, it is. I've got 10 times as many microorganisms as other people, clearly. So that's finished bubbling, and then I just get 2 of these. 2 of marigold. So 1. Plop. And then 2. And plop. And finish. Hey, there we go. All right, we're going to do this a few times. Okay, everyone's competing for how many microorganisms they have. No, this is pretty fast. That's pretty fast. It's not as fast as Morrowind, but it's pretty fast. Okay, so... nettle... oh wait, no, water... nettle... full nettle alchemy. It's dead easy. Like, you know, we pay a lot of money for medicine in this world, but apparently all you have to do is boil nettles for a minute and you're good. Wait, let's cook that up. Cook it good, then turn. You will not quick brew when you level your witchcraft. Yeah. This is the plan. Alright, so let that cool. Microorganisms! Oh, bone, that's it. You might have won today. We'll see. Microorganisms is great. Yeah, so many microorganisms. I am 3 microorganisms high. Well, yeah, I mean, I was thinking about, you know, he's like, he's only, this Nettle Dog Solid's only like in 6 days, 6 apples old or something. And he's already committed so many sins. It's terrible. Okay, I don't want to interrupt the microorganism thing when you're done. I'm going to carry on. Yeah, 6 apples? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, there we go, level of alchemy. Right, let's make another one of these. Yeah, crime has aged him. So I just want to talk a little bit about alchemy while I do this, but I just needed to learn the recipe first. So hopefully I can double multitask now. You need at least 3 IQs. Yeah, you need at least 3 IQs to even start listening to this stuff. Hey JJ. I hated reading that with my eyes. Thanks once again. Right. Cook it up, good! Hetzlop illustrations. Oh yeah, no. I'm talking about something slightly different today, which is the not psychological alchemy, because we kind of looked at that a little bit. But I was going to talk a bit about the physical alchemy, the science. If you're interested in stuff, please stop me if you want me to be more thought-like. But I'm in a bit of a Thothian, what kind of Thothian spirit has taken me today. So a good book on this. So this is a little bit after this period. So this is like Renaissance alchemy, but there's a really good book called The Mercurial Emperor, which talks about Rudolph of Prague, King Rudolph. He's the one who has the famous Vitruvian man, who's like the man made of fruit, is the famous picture of him. And, Mr. Fulu. I'm just in a Thothian mood. I realise that maybe the Thothian demographic. I've had enough Thoth today, but I'm going to give you some more. Maybe it's the coffee. No, not Thoth. Thoth. Yeah, the Vitruvian Man or something, isn't that? No, the Vitruvian Man is the guy like this, isn't it? I can't remember the name of the picture. It's a dude made of fruits. Someone find that for me. I can't remember. My brain isn't working. But it's a great book called The Mercurial Emperor, and that basically discusses his role in. Sorry, I'm not trying to railroad you. His role in the development of science and the scientific revolution, pretty much. Is that good? Yeah, okay. Because basically, you don't. You get Copernicus in Krakow, and that's kind of the beginning of it, right? And then kind of the full crystallization of it when science really begins to divorce itself from alchemy is with Isaac Newton, even though Isaac Newton himself was an alchemist completely. There's another guy around the same time called Boyle. He's a bit of a bastard, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of Boyle's law, but he starts distinguishing between chemistry and alchemy. And not only was he a dick, but he also kind of laid the foundation for this this world where we kind of treat nature a little bit more callously and with a little less respect because we've kind of divorced it of spirit, is the argument. But Newton was an absolute wizard. Like, don't think he was the first scientist. He was a total wizard. And there's loads of good podcasts on this if you're interested. But and it's more about the culture around him, and I think he obviously laid the foundations of it with his maths. Turn that. Vertumnus. Okay, yeah, the veg guy, yeah, Vitruvian. Sorry, Vitruvian's Da Vinci, isn't it? Okay, that's great, Deadly Nightshade. Thank you. We like feedback like that, so let us know if it's hitting the right spot. I'm trying to find the middle ground between entertainment and education. But between those two, Copernicus and Newton, you've got Tycho Brahe, who Jim played in our comedy. You may have seen a picture of him with the the brass nose because he lost his nose, I think, in a duel or something. And then his student, I believe, or his mentee was Kepler, and from Kepler you get to Newton, right? That's the kind of theoretical through line that completes the beginning of the scientific revolution in Europe. And okay, what did I do? I need to complete it, right? Yeah, he became the Royal Master of the Mint, which I think is quite funny. Like, he spent his life trying to create gold, and then at the end, for some reason, he's put in charge of the treasury. So I think that was to do with the mixture and, metallurgy and the mixture of the metals to make the currency and making that efficient and blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, so what a lot of people don't appreciate is that basically that bridge between Copernicus and Newton through Brahe and Kepler was funded by Rudolf. So it was like an R&D thing. He was trying to create an alchemical revolution in Prague. He spent loads of money bringing together the most brilliant minds of the age and having them mingle in Prague, and you get lots of charlatans and stuff trying to pitch crazy shit to Rudolf because he's just listening to everyone, but you also have I'm just giving you a little bit of a reading list here, but Mercurial Emperor is accessible, it's not too scholarly. Professor Cilia, yeah, thanks, Public Universal Goon. Probably, yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Right, and yeah, so he funded this. He funded this revolution. It wouldn't have happened without him, and well, not that it wouldn't have happened. Maybe it would have taken longer. And people often forget the role of these people. Like we attribute the scientific revolution to these scientists, right? These early scientists, but it's really someone like a visionary, like Rudolf, had the idea that we could have an alchemical revolution, and that really is a scientific revolution. That's the fruit. And because of this, because of the problems that the church had with science, Rudolf took a lot of shit, right? Until they eventually drove him insane in some kind of conspiracy. People can back me up on this as well, but I think he was driven mad. I think he was tempted to melancholy anyway. He was probably a manic depressive, I think. And Mercurial Emperor. The Mercurial Emperor is the name of the book. Yeah, he had some kind of, I think he had undiagnosed manic depression. He was up and down, and his mania probably drove him into this passionate, energetic mission to kind of revolutionise Europe with alchemy. But then he got depressed and paranoid, I think. And what time is it? I think we made a lot of rage potions last time. Let me just check if we've got enough. I kind of want to do some levelling up, but I also want to go and prank some monks. Maybe I'll make one more of these. Okay. Yeah, so he probably saved you 50 years. I would imagine, right? Could easily be 50 years. Just him chucking a load of money and taking a load of crap from the Catholics for funding science, and at the time, right, and that leads into, I think, his fall, and then his brother Matthias, I believe, someone can change it, takes over, and then you get the 30 Years' War, right, which was I think according to like the amount of people that were killed in the 30 Years' War, it was worse than World War One. I think by like, or World War Two by comparison, like percentage population loss. So immediately after Rudolph loses power, you know, he's funded the scientific revolution. He is defeated, and then the final kind of like flourish of it, if you like, is in Britain, because it's away from that. I think. Yeah, at least 30 years worth of deaths. I know, but it's the percentage. It's the number of people as a result of like war, famine caused by war. I agree with you, Wiccan. I agree with you, and like even more than that, there are some scientists. I think there's some like why we don't get some ideas. Some people have got brilliant ideas and no self-confidence, and they sit on these brilliant ideas forever, for their entire life. Sometimes Euler, I think, as a mathematician, is one of them. Like, didn't really have enough confidence to publish, and if he had published a bit earlier, then I can't even remember what Euler invented. It's something in maths. It's something too hard for me to understand. But thank you. Thanks, Finn. Right, yeah, that's the other thing, yeah. I mean, like, again, you're losing a lot of people to class. And probably Liz Ziggles wants to talk about this a little bit, but like, yeah, you're losing all women, first of all, by institutional misogyny. You've lost all your women, as I said before on many streams, are great at science. And did I put the nettles in? We're going to find out. Yeah, and then you're losing loads of poor people as well. So the scientific revolution was fundamentally a privileged white male kind of like parlor game. You know, these guys were doing it for giggles, especially in the 18th, 17th century. You know, the kind of like aristocratic inventor. But you lost a lot of people because half your brilliant sparks didn't even go to school, so you've lost all that. Yeah, I mean, no, right? Okay, I don't want to get too political on this, but like, as I've said many times before, I'm a feminist because it doesn't make any sense to not be. I'm sorry. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. People who aren't, who don't want women to have a full and equal role in society are just relics. They're relics. And if we hadn't have done what they wanted us to do and kept them all out of science or suppressed their role in science, we would have had, we'd be at least 100 years in the future. Because it's the same argument you argue for, like, the role of these incredible people in science. We give the credit to Newton, but there's the credit, the visionary, that Rudolph should have the credit for the scientific revolution. I'm sorry, I'm not a huge Rudolph fan, but a realistic look at it, you would learn about him in science class. You would learn about the history of science. You would know this. And he said, Newton said this himself, right? He said, like, I have stood on the shoulders of giants, meaning these guys that Rudolph was funding. The people that went before him, the people that laid the foundations for his work. He's like, I have stood on the shoulders of giants. And all the way people, and that's respect, right? You know why they did that? They did it out of respect, right? That's respect for your, the ancestors of your subject. That's really the kind of attitude that modern scientists should have about alchemy, rather than treating it with some kind of contempt. When, as I said before, it's been keeping everyone alive for like the whole of the Dark Ages and the whole of the Renaissance, with marigold concoctions and combat drugs. Sorry, I randomly became New Jersey in there, yeah. I don't know why. We'll find out. Right, I'm going to go and drop stuff off. Wait, is everything pretty? No, everything's a bit bashed. Okay, let's go and... I'm just going to go and tidy my clothes up. I completely agree. You're not going to have any argument from me here. As I said, the only argument against it is insane. But,
God save you.
Because my job was to criticise all knowledge, I do have something for you to consider, which you're not going to like. But I will tell you anyway, because I think it's important to challenge even good ideas, But, like, when I'm trying to criticise a very social and inclusive approach to science, right? And like, okay, great, we got 200 years in the future because everybody got into it and everybody was involved and it was a project. It wasn't just for the elite. It was for everyone, all classes, all societies. We discovered the kind of like liberal social dream a bit earlier on. That means that, as I believe Stalin or Lenin said something like, Sovietification is the electrification of the country. Something like that. Or socialism is the electrification of the country. Linking socialist gains to kind of industrial power gains, right? Now, if you think then that that's true, if we would have advanced much more quickly if we would have had a much more socially inclusive world, and we had much better income distribution. People weren't one of these massive gulf between the rich and the poor, right? Then, correct me if I'm wrong, we would have caused global warming quicker. Because there's nothing inherently environmental about socialism, I think, or feminism. Although we'd like to claim there is, I don't think there is inherently that. So the only argument I've heard against that, and that argument is that socialism would have brought us about scientific revolution faster, but therefore would have brought us to the consequences of the scientific revolution faster. Right? So the only argument I've heard against that is, and it's really based on a bit of a wish, which is that, oh no, I've just emptied it. Have I just emptied myself? Yeah, I just emptied everything. Okay, I'll start again. I want to check in with the chat on this, sorry. Let me just put some clothes on. There you go, keep that. I don't really want to go and have any violence today, so I think I'm just going to ride. Go for a ride. We want silent shoes. Right, I'm sorry I've missed all this. I'm gonna have to come back. I'm sorry. I know that was some interesting points there, and I've kind of like wandered off. So I apologise. Let's just do that. Let's go a bit. And a torch, so I don't get in trouble. Alright, I've got 8 Bivos Rage Potions. I didn't realise we made that many. We've only got 1 level in Alchemy. Okay, I'm keeping this pretzel, by the way, for... Huh? Okay. I'm getting out of here. Okay, right. So I think we're going to go off to Sasau now, and we're going to mess around with the monks, because I kind of want to like play with this shadow idea of the shadow self. I don't like that look. That's not. Okay. think this is an Hotdog, right? Let's go with that. Sorry, I now see again. So if you want to like, if I missed any comments there, sorry, I'm just going to ride. I know there's a monastery quest, so I want to kind of like build everything up so it kind of ties together. And Jim's in it, right? There's a wild Jim in there, or not such a wild Jim, like a domesticated Jim. Yeah, exactly, and like what goes on the curriculum is very interesting, and how those decisions are made is extremely interesting. I learned about that in education, and it's not. That's another one where you go, really? So often, curricula in yeah, sorry. If my point has been rebutted, I will look back and check it again. I'm just saying that was the only thing I could come up with when I was trying to counterpoint myself. You know, because obviously I'm on that side of the argument. I know, Valerie, but that feels like it comes from an emotional place. Like socialism will inherently find the solution faster. I don't know if it does. Because you have the dangers of groupthink, which is really a big problem on the left. There is not enough like self-criticism happening, and it's like obvious. I don't know about that. I'm not dismissing the argument. I just need to be more convinced of it. And the other one, again, I don't want to be an absolute total bastard by saying this, but it should be said because you're just trying to consider the argument as a whole. And this, what I'm about to say, might piss people off as well. But again, I'm just arguing with myself. So I'm creating an argument. When I decide that I've settled on a position, I try to criticise the position. So, in that vein, the concentration of wealth, right, means that the concentration of consumption
I feel quite hungry.
Is controlled. If you'd have had a liberalisation of money and a breakdown of the aristocracy earlier, and normal people being richer to buy things, then there would have been more carbon dioxide produced, right? So you can make the argument that the privileged elite 1% are protecting the 99% by holding all the money. But that's just a bit of a dick argument. But anyway, I do that. Because if you had the money, then you would have a bigger carbon. This guy again. Every day we come by, I'm gonna run him over.
Yeah.
You got me in trouble with the cops. Okay, take him out of context to cancel him quick. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be pretty standard behaviour, right? Considering I'm on your side. Quick, get him! He's on our side. All right. Well, I can appreciate that, Valerie, but that's kind of what you're saying. Then is there's more people involved in the crisis, then the crisis will get solved faster. But if there's more people involved in creating the crisis.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting cancelled today. Okay. All right. But I mean, all that does is shut down conversation. And I'm not, like one of these big kind of freedom of speech things. But you've got to let people talk. Otherwise, you get like really nasty side effects of suppressing it. Right? It's not. You can't just like, I don't want to hear it, so it must be quiet. That's evil.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This is that Hungarian quest was around here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can we do that? About after killing humans? Are you still following us? Nah, come on. No, you're right, you're right. I think if I understood that correctly. Sorry, I was just watching out for the Hungarians.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't take anything I say too seriously, but like, this is the thing. You've got to have your counter arguments worked out, so... Got another one! They're really after me today, aren't they? I'm tempted to just rage these guys. No, let's run around.
Yeah.
Oh, impenetrable bush. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
Well, not always, but just to... This is Sasau, right? Yeah, I'm coming around the back way. Okay. If you don't think out the card counter arguments, you get wrong-footed. And if you can't hold the opposite argument in your head because it's too challenging, then you're going to lose. I'm either right or I'm lying, yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. We lost a lot of geniuses to the mines. I mean, you can thank the Ziggler for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to rent a room in here and we're going to go and have a look at the monks. Because he's beginning to obsess with them, I think. Yeah, okay, alright, well don't complain when it's just thotting, you know? Like, if you've got some thoth time and you value it, great. But, oh, I haven't got this room, have I?
I'm honoured that you should come to me.
Because you've got to think about that surge in carbon dioxide that you saw, right? It's a surge where it shoots up, and then you gotta try and work out the maths of what that would have looked like if you'd had 100 times as many people involved or 1,000 times as many people involved. I think it could have been bad.
Can I sleep here?
All right. For how long?
Yeah, Thoths are a bit underrepresented in the evil gang, so I try to keep them close. I know you're all.
Just the one night.
I know you're all very clever,
No problem.
but some of you
Are you
like
paying
scholarship.
advance?
Ah, I left all my money. Oh. Okay, well this shouldn't be a problem.
That's too much. I'll have to think it over.
Suit yourself.
But we have a lot of the chat is like 40% Thoth. No. We would have had the same problem. We would have discovered it faster. I think I will agree with that. Right? Just because of the spirit of collectivism. Kind of, but then there's a really good argument against that as well, which is that one of the things that helped Europe to win the scientific revolution and to get kind of like a boost into the Age of Empires, which was terrible, but what allowed them to do that was because this is geographical determinism. I don't know if you know about this, but basically the Alps in Europe break Europe into like distinct sections, which are difficult to unify, and very easy to generate competition between these groups. So the competition and the secrecy, you can argue, pushes science as much as everybody working together. But to come back to the point before I forget it, like, yes, okay, people would have come together and maybe like figured it out quicker, but we would have caused a bigger surge, right? So we may have caused a dramatic tipping point before we could figure it out. Again, I'm being a bit annoying here, but I'm being purposely annoying, but there you go. That's where my mind went. People are going to invent what they're going to invent, which makes their lives better, right? And as we've said, like, science has a negative impact on the world. It's not like that's not really up for discussion. I don't think there is a positive impact. I'm not saying there isn't, but science did invent things like, you know, nuclear waste or, you know, asbestos or all these things as well. Yeah, maybe that's a good argument. Again, these are some mini essay answers coming off here, which is great to see. But I don't know if I can take it all in now. The Nettles advocate, yeah. True. Yeah, you could argue that speeding it up would also speed up the scientific response. But again, if the scientific response ends up being, you know, like stratospheric aerosol spraying, right, or something mental like that could go wrong into like Snowpiercer type territory, then again, the science has not necessarily got the answer exactly. It's just a tool. Okay, so I think that was a comment to someone else. I'm just babbling. Wait, I want to find a shop. I need to sell something to someone. Is there a butcher? Is this a butcher? Yeah, there we go. I need some money for the inn.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
I don't think we're moving to. I think there are solutions already in existence, but the vested interest is too much against them. So, like I spoke about it at Kitten Beach. You can't have liberal environmentalism. You can't leave it to individuals to like recycle and stuff. I'm sorry, that's not going to work, right? And to follow and to guide their environmental ethics to the point where they can take responsibility about whether they buy a plastic bag or whether they bring one with them. No, this is not going to work. Also, talking down to everybody when you're in the mega elite, telling them that they have to change their lives when you are, you know, getting on a... I get 3.1, that's all I need. You know, where you get your little cube to live in and they're jet setting across the planet telling you that jet setting is bad. That's not going to work. Telling everybody that we're doomed and we're already like, that's it, it's all over, there's nothing you can do. That's not going to work either. Yes, exactly. It caused way more problems. The Trump administration is a great example of this because they've ridden to power a bit like Brexit did on the back of like people are having enough of experts. And you can't like, also like The Guardian can't like, and these kind of outlets, they can't do you doom environmentalism and say, you know, the world is going to be a desert by the year 2000 and then it's not. Right, so you have to be really wary of overselling it, and that's what a lot of people have done. Which is why we've got a bit of a problem now where people go, I don't believe you, because you've been telling me this for 50 years and nothing's happened. And from their point of view, nothing's happened because they're not necessarily living in a part of the world which is affected by it. Yeah, okay, we did live without capitalism, but we also lived in a state of feudalism. So, you know, yeah, that was very low carbon footprint because nobody had any bread. Yeah, pop journalism, yeah, exactly. Sensationalist, it's like Horizon documentaries, you know. But that's all contributed to this, you know, that the scientists have let us down because they've been warning us about all this really apocalyptic stuff, and a lot of it hasn't happened. Some of it has happened. I'm not denying it, but not enough of it has happened that they promised. And the things that have happened, it's easy to attribute to all sorts of things. Like we had fires in Rhodos, right? And you can argue, okay, the fires, the sun made the conditions wetter or drier, so fires are more likely to happen. Okay, but they also were people setting fire to things, and I think they were the bigger problem.
Have you got a bed for them?
Sorry, I'm being very
I suppose I could find something.
Apologise.
For how long?
I'm not talking about enough whatever.
Just the one night?
Japanese culture.
Sure. But let's see your coin first. These are harsh times.
Yes, does cry. That is a great point. That's what I wanted to talk about as well today. It's important to know what, because people believe in science.
There you go.
But it's like believing in a hammer. It doesn't necessarily, it doesn't mean anything on its own. People have attributed to a bunch of, like, Jedi Knight-like powers to scientists because of the way education works. But they're super corrupt, you know, like body of people like anybody else. And they've got egos and all this kind of stuff. So they're super susceptible to the same fate as other people. And the other thing is, people act like they know where it's going, right? And this is about teleology, right? Teleology, the teleology of science. What's it for, right? Why do we do it? Where is it all going? And if you can't say where it's all going, like what the world looks like when science is finished, right? Then you can't say we're making progress because there are no targets. We're not heading towards something. We're just using it to solve problems. And some of those problems that we're solving have been caused by science. So, how best to reduce that is a good question. Sorry, I think you're talking about something else. Maybe the chat has moved on to Barbie Adventure. All right. Wait, no, I didn't mean to sleep that long. Oh, God, no. Autopilot, damn it. Ah, damn it. All right. Oh, I've got no money. Sucks. So, alchemy. I don't want to rob food. I was told not to rob food. The books told me that. It's like my first lesson. It's all the microorganisms in here. Yeah, that's madness. That's madness. And there has to be some kind of organised effort behind it that doesn't come from companies that have a vested interest in it staying the same way. But this is... You know, this is how Civilization 6 ends, doesn't it? You know, it ends with out of control climate change because of just like warring powers. And I feel sometimes like recycling your plastic, even though you do it, it's more for psychological reasons. It's more for like, oh, I'm doing my bit, at least it's gonna be okay. And also, I think more importantly, liberal environmentalism, which is the idea that you can decide whether you buy a plastic bag or not, is to offset responsibility from the people manufacturing the plastic bags. So, you know, when there's an incident, as a liberal environmentalist, you go, I blame myself. You don't go, I blame the massive companies that are doing this systematically. Ooh. I'm just going to look around for things to eat. Sorry, I know I'm not doing much today. I will go on with the main quest at some point, but this is where the spirit has taken me. Yeah, liberal environmentalism has doomed it, yeah. And I think you could say, like, the little innovation in Europe, the little plastic thing that forces the cap to stay on the bottle, even though engineers, I'm sure, have designed that. I think that might have been the bridge too far. Okay, I'm not interfering with that medical drama. And the military, right? Let's not forget that, Pineapple. I completely agree with you, but it's the military, right? And this is what you do when you criticise knowledge, right? You have to criticise science, and people really don't like it when you're criticising science. They feel like it's done something, it passed the method, therefore it's science, therefore it's true, and it's really not like that. And you can criticise science all sorts of ways. One is the various statistics that companies use to justify their products. You know, like when they say something will help with a certain condition, you have to look at what help really means. And it might mean improves it by 1%, you know? And they can argue that that's helpful. Yeah, in Greece, they did something funny in the paper straws, which is, again, like it shows you the problem with liberal environmentalism. But where I was, they labelled the straws that they were giving out, right, the plastic straws they were giving out as reusable, right, which I guess all plastic straws are. But they, this is kind of how they go in Greece, but they kind of labelled them as reusables and they just carried on as normal, just giving them out. It's over though, isn't it? The paper straws thing, I don't think, is people still doing that? I'm just not getting a straw anymore, maybe. Yeah, exactly. Well, look, I mean, it is our fault in the sense of we're using these things, but there needs to be stronger regulation of the people doing the polluting, and the regulators shouldn't be regulating themselves. That just seems madness, right? It's like putting the fox in charge of the hen house. Just drink with no straw anyway. I just like that would be the right thing to do. All right, if you're talking about a genuine socialist response to this, right? One is whatever the restrictions that you use, because you're going to have to use some restrictions. They apply to everybody, and they can't be bought their way around by rich people. So you have to have it like everyone's in it together, because if there isn't a sense that everyone's in it together, that we're pulling together, then immediately it'll fall apart, right? That's just human nature. So you got to have some laws, right? So stuff like, again, I don't know for sure, because you got to think about how many people you're going to kill by doing this kind of stuff. But
my insides are
lights off at 10 o'clock on a Sunday, right? The Blitz. You know, you force everybody to switch the lights off unless it's an emergency, unless it's a hospital being open or something like that. Like lights off, or no driving a car by law. A petrol car on Friday, you know? And some of this stuff is just unworkable. You're never going to get a functioning economy with you do something like that. But it has to be done that way. Because it's the only way everybody will feel part of it. Right, yeah, and this is it, which we're going to say. I mean, again, I'm not trying to like make any enemies here or anything today by sharing my opinions, but the curriculum are formed by special interest groups. I was very surprised to find that out. Like in the UK, it's quangos, like advisory bodies advise on what you should be taught in school. And this is where you get the Edison thing somebody brought up before, Edison and Tesla. Like, which scientists do you learn about? Why do you learn about those scientists and not other scientists? Is a very interesting question. And it turns out that corporations like Colgate and I don't want to say one that isn't on there, but I'm sure Colgate is, have an influence on the science curriculum. Just the way it is. Well, there doesn't seem to be much going on here. I'm kind of idling. He's still. This is the gym secret door. Okay, let's go. Oh no, I should leave that open, right? Yes, it's extremely dystopian. It kind of crept up on everybody, I think, and a lot of people don't question it. They just accept it. And who's not on the science curriculum? It's like very interesting. Who you don't learn about. All right, yeah. So this is you're kind of expressing the spirit of like late '90s, turn of the millennium socialism, and there was quite a nice vibe back then. But it's kind of like fragmented, and I think a lot of that fragmentation has come from companies funding stuff that makes people angry. If you watch the film Brexit. How they got that to happen is one, they did loads of like psychological analysis of the population, and he just jumped in. Who's this guy? Rage baiting is way too OP, especially again, like you gotta toughen up. You can't be manipulated, and not only did they use some images that were wrong about the EU, but what's my point now? Ada Lovelace. Yeah, I know that name, but I can't remember exactly what it is about. Yeah, let's not mix holy nettles with Nestle, I'm afraid. But yeah, agitation, sorry, yeah. So they do shadow marketing, which is basically where you can personalised target ads on a certain group of people in a certain area, right? On Facebook. And we used to do this for advertising theatre, right? This is a useful tool. But, 41% Meows fan, yeah, they were the biggest house, yeah. Yeah, and Thoth is the smallest group. That's why I need to keep all the Thoths. So they would send adverts adverts in favour of things like, LGBTQ awareness or, issues around racism or something, but they would target like bitter, white, probably working class men in Nuneaton. And they did this to get them angry, right? So, some ex-LGBT group just saying something, and then they're taking that message of that person, putting it there and say, see, right? And so there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of very brutal political weapons being used by the right wing, by billionaire class. You know, like it's we are. If you're on the left, if you're kind of like a moderate leftist person, you know, we are in a really bad situation at the moment, I'm afraid. Like Europe's nearly entirely right wing, you know, and if you had any, and America of course, and if you had any hope, and Russia and China, they're not. None of these countries are going to stop extracting oil, and so on right now. It's not going to happen. Yeah, Europe has been, and again, like I really wish that people on the left were a little bit more self-critical and can understand that being right all the time isn't necessarily worth having the power, not having the power, you know, about things, and maybe being more critical about the messaging. But I don't think it's going to happen. And I think partially it's because those people who should be doing that are actively being manipulated by people with incredibly powerful tools, like, you know, it's getting so hungry. All right, let's go and sell some more. Sorry, Rumi, we're doing kind of like, it's just too easy to morally grandstand. Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, okay, so you got the satisfaction of feeling like you're right, but you alienated everyone and lost power. So you've actually hurt the cause. You're causing climate change by doing that. Unless you're going to think out an argument that is properly going to appeal to the majority of the people, because that's the state we're in, rather than trying to use force, or talk down. You know, you have to include people. It has to be funny. It has to be positive. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad. I lost a lot of, you know, good people to that kind of very narrow-minded way of thinking. But there you go. Well, I think someone made a joke about it the other day, but like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm fairly centrist.
Jesus Christ be praised.
You know, like
How may I
centre
serve
left
you?
kind of, you know, but I don't even know what it means anymore half the time. You know, like some positions I have a slightly right-wing opinion on, because if you don't, then you'll lose all the gains that you've made, right? So it's the whole softly kind of catchy monkey is the approach to any kind of like I don't know, like any kind of salvation here, right? But sorry, my chat's gone invisible. Well, okay, yeah. Sorry. You're right. And my friend, my colleague, wonderful woman, very, very educated and qualified. Was in the management of the school, and you know, she's like, well, you can't, you know, you're not going to expect change without people rocking the boat, you know. But the counter argument is that you don't rock it too much, you know. Like you've got to know when you're rocking it too much, because then you are going to lose gains, and there isn't this guarantee that you're going to keep everything, that we are going to keep everything, you know. There isn't that guarantee. We could oh wait, I've got my magic box. What am I doing? I'm talking too much. That's why I'm talking too much. I've got my magic box. I've got all my stuff. What am I doing? Okay, I could get my money from the box. Yeah. And then it becomes a bit of a competition, doesn't it? It's like as you know, who can be the most shocking, who can rock the boat the most, you know? And then it becomes your own worst enemy, because if you rock the boat too much, then that's it, you lose everything. Right? Like we can go backwards. We have gone backwards before, and we will again. Yeah. Again. Yeah. You're speaking wisdom. You're speaking wisdom in the chat here. I'm not gonna criticise anything you're saying. But there you go. It is what it is. Oh no, he locked me out. Oh no. God. 15 groschen. Get back in. Oh, I'm distracted. Yeah, no, I get it. You got the same problem there that you have with the church, you know, like back in the day. There are parallels here. What do you do if society is not accepting you for whatever reason? You're going to change, so society does accept you. Or you're going to reject society, you're going to leave society, or you can deny it, you're going to defy it.
Can I sleep here?
Aye, there's room here. For how long?
Yeah, I don't know the way. I don't know the way to bring it together
first.
because
These are harsh times.
both sides are hardened, you know, and they're hardening up.
I like it here.
Even though it might not break down into a full-on civil war, it is like that already in the tension between people in society. It's already like that, you know. And I don't know. I as a thing, the only way out is through, you know, at that point.
Farewell.
Yeah. Well, as a fan of the French Revolution, I'm not entirely disagreeing with you, Valerie. But you know that turned murderous and horrific. Right, let's get the money first. Oh, let's read a book maybe. Primer 2. Dice. Please be careful since people have gotten banned for stupid reasons on this platform. I don't know what I've said that is wrong. Yeah, no, I know. That's why I kind of because it is, you know, the terror. Wasn't a good look. Don't know it that well, I don't think. Don't know it well enough to talk about it. The in-game goal, we're kind of like treading water and making some potions. I wanted to talk a little about alchemy. I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about, and I didn't want to do the main quest until I got a little bit better at alchemy. So I was going to do a few like relaxed streams, and people said they wanted a relaxed stream, so I'm just being a bit more chatty.
What can I do for you?
Oh, thank you, Pumbospikas Kakos. You Greek? I annoyed someone for saying they were Greek the other day when they weren't. Does that sound a bit Greek though? Hey, Betty Girls Keela, thank you, and your benefactor. I can buy some levels in alchemy, yeah. You're very relaxed, good. Thanks, Comfort. It's actually hot. It turned cold and then it got hot again. My favourite mini game is probably lockpicking. I do yearn for Greece. I do yearn for Greece, and I will shortly be in Greece. And I'm very, very happy about that. Right, I want to look at what they've got. Have they got anything nice? Let's get some pretzels. Boom, boom. No, we can make them. A trout. Alright, I think we took a book with us, didn't we? Let's go and read it. Wait, I took out money! Oh, for God's sake. Alright, fine. Until I pick my groschen up. Fine. Can I get 4 pretzels, please? Thank you. Ooh. Irene the Owl. Okay, I'm still... just so you know, like, some of my... The reason I'm a bit confused about streaming and what happens is that my computer is half in Czech. So those purple messages I'm getting up at the top right-hand corner are in Czech, so I don't always get them. Great bats. I've got to go and check out KB, but I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't know what's going to be there. And like, you know, season 3 was a thing, so but I will be away. That's why I wanted to get some streaming in now. I will be away for a while, and I'll try and do something from Greece. Some season 4 content maybe. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I won't be streaming for about 10 days. So we'll do probably go on with the main quest tomorrow. And I think I'm gonna go back and do more alchemy. I can't sacked off this down. Alright, let's have another crack at the... I kind of want to get more books. Oh no, you know what? I haven't got any booze, but let's go and... Let's sit down here for a minute. Yeah, I'm sorry. I will try and we'll do Hotdog Henry tomorrow. I'll do some Fallout New Vegas Femstavan, even if it's just for a couple of hours. And hopefully, fingers crossed, get another couple of hours in with Michael. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I know the Evil Gang will be left in safe hands. Right, Primer. This is a great film. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it again. Indie film about time travel. Really weird. One of those ones you have to go and then figure it out, but it does make sense. A bit like Dark. But it's very indie. It's very like... I think it's mid-90s. Maybe it's early noughties. No, it must be early noughties or something. Primer, yeah. Has anyone watched it? It's very kind of niche. I think it's called Primer, am I wrong? What? A primer for the 15th. Bar Black Sheep. There's Sigismund again! He's the prime. Bar Black Sheep, have you any wool? You'll find out in our latest publication, a primer for the 15th century, coming soon to a scriptorium near you. Okay, so I guess this is a skill book. And this book won't take that long to finish, okay? No, all the books were written by Sigismund because he's so great. And all the books were illuminated with Sigismund because he's so sexy. That's a reading skill book. Alright, so I'm reading about reading. Okay, great. That's excellent. I haven't got 2 of them, right? I didn't get Primer 2. Alright, I did get my... I've got 3 groschen. Oh, I can sell chalices. There we go. Let's go and sell chalices. We've already established that Sigismund is the rightful king. We've already done that. We've already gone over this. Kingdom Come has covered this pretty extensively. It's teaching me about critical thinking. I was also thinking maybe this book is teaching me about stuff like marginalia and like, you know, traditions of reading and writing in the 14th century about again, it's a good one for late intellectual medieval simulator, isn't it? Late medieval something like that. Right, someone buy my chalices.
Jesus Christ be praised. How may I serve you?
I've got the volume a bit low today. Maybe that's why I'm kind of out of it. No, she doesn't want it, does she? No. I don't know Sasau well. I don't know the shop size. Is this a shop? Is that a scribe? Oh, hello.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
Yeah, you can. Oi, let's talk trade then. You got some books for me, have ya? Oh, sell your grasses and herbs, part 3, and primer. And I'd like to buy Primer 3 is 607. Maybe a book about the Sasau Monastery. I haven't read that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Wicked Blacksmiths, that's a great book. Okay, we really haven't looted this place either, so... But someone's got to buy those... Someone's got to buy the chalices, no? Who's this? No, I know Sasau in real life. I know Sasau in real life. It's a nice place. I just, in the game, had some bad experiences with monks. Alright, what have you got? God save you. What can I do for you? Oh, you're wearing this matching sausage hat. I think we're not going to use that. I think that's not a good look for him. That's good. We want to keep the green, but we can sell that for sure. And I don't know about this doublet, really. That feels wrong. But what's he got for clothes? Does they have special... Oh, we got blue chaperon. Now you're getting Ishtvani, aren't you?
Back at me, you dog!
Woo. Thank you, Ink and Whiskers. Welcome to Evil Gang, the most toxic brand on the internet. It's quite funny when Michael laughed when I said that. Alright, it doesn't look like there's great drip here available. Seems the same. I like those trousers I got, but I can't... No. Okay. Here we go. Wait, you said items in the basket. There aren't. Aha, yeah. Okay. Gripless. And thank you for the followers as well in general. That's going up. So thank you everybody who's joining the gang. And again, I hope you're getting something out of it. Let me know. I'm very open to feedback, and but I'm new to this, so I want to keep it a little bit experimental. And I really don't know who other people are doing. But we've got some fun stuff planned. Oh, the mustard hat! No, he's going now. He's had enough of me. Enough of your political talk, Mr. Nettle Dog. Thank you, Alina. It's nice. Yeah, again, I do try to pay attention, as you've seen. When I say, okay, we do it, I try to do it, straight away. As quickly as possible. Unless I forget for some reason. Oh, thank you, Barbarian Hamster. That's much appreciated. Yeah, okay. I don't know if it's different. Do the Ariana ponytail. Yeah, it will happen. Yeah, okay. Not now, though. It needs to get a bit longer. Shoggorath's cosplay, yeah. No, what I will try to do is get the YouTube channel. That's one of my smart targets for this week, is to get the YouTube channel set up before I go to Greece, so you can at least have those there. I have got all of the VODs, so there's no problem. But again, I'm sensitive to the different people in the group. Some people want action, some people want chat, and finding the right mix. Maybe they'll cast me one day. Maybe they'll meet Morrowind and recast me. That would be absolutely fantastic. All right, Esther, I'm glad you're having fun. And again, I don't want to get too philosophical or too deep. When that does happen, feel free to drag me down to your level. Thoughts always have the right to drag the philosophical tone back down if it gets too high-minded. The Valley Girl accent is beyond the limit of earthly financing at the moment, because it's a matter of principle. Other voices, New Orleans, we will come back to though. Tonsia? No, I'm not doing a Tonsia. Oh, we bought another book. Let's go read it.
Here you are, and good health.
Yeah, again, I appreciate some people, for whatever reason, don't have a good filter on stuff, so please assume that if I'm saying something, I don't automatically believe it. I don't want to do disclaimers all the time, but I am presenting being the Nettles advocate a little bit, just to make my own argument better, and so I'm not wrong-footed by people that I'm arguing with.
But I didn't believe, which I soon learned was a mistake.
Alright, so let's check in with these guys, because this is the shadow. Alright, this is what I've established, at least temporarily. Unless Nettle Dog does some kind of repentance. This is the shadow self we're talking about. So, Abbot Procopius, a good check of outstanding learning, was first an earthly priest who led an honourable life in full devotion to God. Later, when much blood had been spilt in the kingdom of Bohemia, he went into reclusion, far away from people, to be disturbed by no man, and far from all that is earthly and impure, and to find isolation and peace, so that he could pray to God. With great passion in his heart, he denied his wife and his home, his worldly property, his relatives and friends, and lo, even his own self did he deny, subjecting himself to God's will alone. Again, to get where you get crypto-fascist, right? We had this with, is it Aldebard? Someone? Right, so he's giving up everything. Fleeing from the tempest of human society and full of love for Christ, he left for the wilderness. He left for Kidden Beach. And there he settled under the arches of an abandoned cave.
I'll bring it right away.
Armed with but the armour of his faith and the swords of the heavens did he drive forth the demons that had lived at that place. Oh, he drove out the demons, alright. Oh, wait a minute! Exactly, Sam! Exactly, this is a Yowie cave. He's talking about the Yowie cave, right? He is the Yowie in the cave. He is the Yowie in the cave, or he drove the Yowie out of the cave. This is really important. The arches of an abandoned cave, with armed with but the swords of his faith and the swords of the... He did drive out the demons there. Yowie cave, monk... Yeah, it is all coming together. It is all coming together.
I heard about the comet. What's that about the wild hunt?
Is this the Yowie cave of legend? His shadow self on the wall. Hello Swampland, welcome to Evil Gang. Drove out the fungus. Be gone, fungal infection. Well, that is actually very close to the truth. But we're not going to do that today. We'll do that on another alchemy stream. It's too much for one day. This is a false Yowie cave.
Hoofbeats and screaming.
So the head...
Don't need ghostly riders for that.
That's Jim, isn't it? Jim just said something about ghostly riders in the background. Yeah, sorry, finish the book. For many years did he dwell in the cave, so I guess he's the Yowie. So that's definitely Jim. He's talking about devil worship in the background. That's quite weird. All right. For many years he dwelt in the cave. Virtue. Yeah, all right. His virtue shielding him from all temptation and impropriety. Prayer, fasting, and keeping vigil bound him fast to the firm rock that is Christ. Through the mercy of the heavens, did tales of the holy Procopius's virtue spread, so that people from all corners of the earth began to seek him out. Well, we are seeking the Yowie out. This clean, pure, and prudent man, well, good that he's clean, because that shaft wasn't, was it? Did listen to their pleas and confessions, and thus their hearts were turned to faith and their thoughts corrected. Faith in the Yowie. From the many gifts that were brought to him, he then built a monastery over his cave, and he called forth a gathering of several most pious brothers in Christ. Alongside his brethren, he pursued a pious life of strict morals, and using the rule of good Father Benedict's model, for them he did establish monastic rules for worshipping God. Later, when Procopius had died and his soul entered heaven, a saint and his body in his cave did lie, the monastery received his name, and thereafter is born the title, the Benedictine Monastery of St. Procopius. So what this book is telling me, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Yowie cave is the cave under the monastery. Oh my god, the monks guard the Yowie cave. You're all saying it. You're all saying it. Maybe the Yowie cage is queer baiting. Yeah, maybe. I'm assuming I can rob the Yowie cave, but I don't know if I want to do it today. This is a major... We need to plan this. Alright. Okay. We have to... Yeah, I know. Everything makes sense now. I know. This is a big moment. This is a big moment for Henry. But I'm not sure... Okay, I've got to go and talk to Jim. This is getting annoying. They're fighting or something. Where is he?
God be with you, good sir.
Is that Jim? Well, salami from Jimothy.
And where would you see forest men?
Yeah, that's Jim, isn't it?
Around the holy
mountain, keep houses in Germany.
Jim. What were you doing there?
I was on
Yeah, I think that's it.
of course.
That's Jim from like 6 years ago, if I'm right, 8 years ago.
But I didn't believe, which I soon learned was a mistake.
So what happened?
Yeah, it's him. Yeah, the alley cave. Shit. All right. The guy in the monastery's courtyard. They'll tell you all about demons and caves.
And a great roar of thunder followed.
Okay, it gives me a chance to read the
That's
script.
what I thought too, until suddenly I realized the sound I heard wasn't thunder, but singing.
Jeez.
So what did I do? Like a fool, I went.
I don't know if they are Yowie protectors. It might have started like that, but then the church became corrupt and they no longer protect the Yowie. They just exploit the Yowie.
Gigantic. Each was as big as two ordinary men. They were
Like we're just standing with this other guy, like everyone's just listening to this maniac. Oh, he's a charlatan!
Saying, Diese Nacht ist kalt und der Winter bläst.
Alright, I've got to talk to this guy. Alright, charlatan.
Huh. I know you. I know you from somewhere. Where do I know you from?
They're gatekeeping the Yowie, yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is Jan Hus is
dream.
freeing the Yowie.
You were in a boat made of bone, and I put a crown of thorns on your head.
Okay, he's not looking so Necronomiconized at that. Yeah, tell me about your dream.
Tell me about this dream of yours.
That dream. Yes, that dream has come true. I dreamt that a young man would become my apprentice, my own pupil in the trade of miracles.
Alright, well, look, his Hotdog Henry is very gullible. This whole thing that he's both gullible and evil. I'm in luck.
Then I'm in luck.
On the contrary, I, the lucky one. What's your
Dreams
name?
are real now. I thought you said anything.
A power.
My name's Hal.
So, Hen, are you ready to become my apprentice?
Well, what is it?
What exactly does it entail, becoming your apprentice?
A lot of work and strenuous labor. Knowledge of medicine, theology, and white magic. You have to study the great works of the ancients. And
I'm vibing with this guy.
Understanding your fellow men. Listening to them and learn to read their souls.
That sounds good, right? Why is he called a charlatan?
Pull me an ale.
Alright, yeah, that sounds easy to nettle,
Into
yeah,
it.
nettle dog, because he's
That's
like,
why God has sent
he's a
you.
good reader.
That's what he said.
But we find
First,
out who you
tell me,
are, just get
who
into
are you?
bed with strangers,
And what
yeah.
do you do?
Me? I am an unworthy, low, and miserable servant.
Oh, as long as it's fun.
Scholar or merchant, believer or heathen. I wander the world without home or family, with only my wagon, offering miracles to those that need them. That's who I am. Without home or kin, I wander this world with my wagon.
Well,
providing
okay, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Lilith Prince.
ointments,
And
relics,
go work on your deadline.
aromatic herbs, rare spices, talismans and amulets for luck. All these things I have.
Alright, let's do it.
Alright.
Okay, we do it!
Apprentice.
Wonderful! Oh, glorious day! I have a successor in my work.
So, how do you plan to start training me?
With a test of your practical skill.
Great, I love my practical skills. I worked hard on them.
I have my eye on 3 rare objects of great value. But sadly, they're a little difficult to obtain.
I'm not a thief.
Go on.
I am a thief. He is a thief
Tooth of
first,
Saint
above
Procopio.
everything.
Then I'll need a branch from a topping out hung on a church. And finally, a talisman for luck, my passionate play.
Bloody hell, that's a lot. Alright, one thing at a time.
Right, I'm assuming the player's talisman is in the pub. Topping out, what's that?
This topping out?
Did they mean
No,
topping?
property.
Like topping?
No, I'm a blacksmith.
I see. Well, a topping out is a decorated spruce. or
Why is he saying he's a
controversy
blacksmith?
Hung on top of the roof of a new house to bring good fortune, God's blessing.
Alright.
That topping off is hung pretty high, isn't it?
That topping off.
Naturally.
That
It
topping
hangs
off
on
is
the
hung.
rooftop according to tradition. And the church is tall.
Alright, yeah, no, sorry, we're descending into thought levels, guys. I've done a good job holding the stream for Thoth here, but yeah, here we go. It's over. It's over. The thoughts are out. Yeah, can't we make our own?
Then all we need to do is break off a branch somewhere, buy a few ribbons, and we've got our own homemade topping out right there.
You don't
Topping off his
understand.
hands and Henry. Yeah, here we go.
The topping out was sanctified by
The
a
thoughts
priest
are
who
unleashed.
hangs on the highest church far and wide. You can't just replace a decorated branch.
Fair enough.
Alright, how am I supposed to get
That
that?
topping off is hung pretty high.
Sorry,
isn't it?
I was reading your filth.
It hangs on the roof.
The IQs are dropping. The thoughts are released. The IQs.
How am I supposed to get it down?
Damned if I know. But they had to get it up there somehow, didn't they?
I missed it again. Alright. Someone tell me where
Very
this
well.
fucking thing
I'll
is.
get it.
Alright, let's get going.
About that tooth, it's going to be slightly more complicated, isn't it?
I know. Yes, it would be very difficult to gain such a rare relic.
Bow and arrow, great, okay,
That's
thanks.
why I have an alternative solution.
I'm listening.
A layman named Procopius lives by the monastery.
They just needed that single word
My intricate
to give them license,
But
and
I
now
found
that's
out he
it.
has
This
a
is the end.
tooth.
How did you find out he has a sore tooth?
As it happens, he told me at the tower. But that's not important.
So I've got to knock someone's tooth out, steal a
How
twig.
am I supposed to get the tooth?
I haven't the faintest idea. You'll have to think of something.
Alright, I'm
Maybe
pretty
you can
charming.
Persuade him to let the blacksmith.
You were on your best behaviour, it's true. You were doing very well. You were sitting very quietly, listening to the thoughts, which are a small protected group anyway, have their day, right? But when we had a lot of
And
it,
it certainly is deceitful. But if I sell it as a tooth from
the test doesn't lie, I'm
Procopius
afraid.
Sasso,
If you're
then
Thoth, you're
I'm
Thoth.
cheating nobody.
Does it really matter whose tooth I bring then?
I mean, I'm Thoth. I wanted to be Thoth. Thoth is the coolest house thing. It's like Ravenclaw, you know?
This holy land is shrouded with mystical power. Sometimes I might play a trivial trick on someone, but I assure you, I'm no swindler.
Isn't that swindling?
Fine, I'll get it from him.
Wonderful.
I can now not tell glancing whether you're talking about the topping off or you're talking about topping
I
off.
actually have a specific one in mind. Here at the inn, there's a
Is
dice
Thoth
player
gonna
who
fight
always has
Thoth
cat's
on
paw
list for the
that's supposed to be
heart of the chat? You're gonna get mauled. The Thoths are gonna maul you.
A cat's paw? I thought players bring along a rabbit's paw for them.
I thought so too. But this man.
I didn't bully him in the Morrowind stream. I did not bully him in the Morrowind stream. I was playing with him. Come on.
Even more powerful than rabbits.
Oh.
The Meowth fans are either getting the best present or the worst present, I'm afraid, and I won't know. I won't know before.
How am I supposed to get the talisman from him?
I haven't a clue. It won't be easy. but I'm sure you'll find a way.
Hey guys, tripping. Oh, this is Nikki, right? Hey, Nikki. Okay.
Very well. I'll get you the paw. I'll get looking for those things then.
Excellent! You do that, my journeyman. Good luck.
I've not seen the room. I've seen bits of it. Right. I don't know if this is long, but I'll try and do a bit of it now. What I might have to do. Layman Procopius's tooth. Assume he's in the pub.
God be with you, good sir.
Oh wait, hang on.
May the Lord watch over
We just barred it up, right? We've got drugs for this, haven't we? Oh no, I didn't take drugs for this. Okay, right. Whatever. We will raw dog it.
You must be that lucky fellow everyone.
Oh, he looks good in that light.
Lady Luck has been good.
And that looks looking good in that light.
But that-
Great light in Prague this time of year, by the way, if
you
you're
get
here
help
for
from a
events and
lucky
stuff.
charm.
Like,
Is that not
light is
allowed?
amazing. Go up Wiener Radsko
No,
at
it
the
is.
sunset.
It's just interesting.
Very good.
that's all.
Turns all those pastel colours on the walls. Very nice.
Hand over that cat paw,
Oh, what?
or I'm going to start breaking some limbs, and they won't belong to a cat.
All right,
Oh,
now.
what?
Wait, I was winning
Yeah,
that.
Someone else, you mongrel. Farewell.
About that talisman of yours.
What about it?
I could use a paw like that myself.
Then go to the knacker. I'm sure he'll get you one.
I must have read that graph wrong. I thought that graph basically said I was going to win. The knacker.
I'll buy it from you.
You want to buy my cat paw? You're joking.
No, I'm not. I'll buy it. How much do you want for it?
I think it looked good, no? He wants 150 gold. I've got 151.
See? In the end, it brought me more luck than I thought.
Thanks.
Take care now.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
It is ein Art.
Jesus Christ be praised.
About those other things you wanted from me. I'll get looking for those things then.
Hey, Dreadwolf.
You do
Thank
that,
you.
my
Your
journeyman.
benefactor I
Good
cannot
luck.
see on this setup, but thank you. It's much appreciated. I only have one of the items. No, you have to give it to him, okay.
I went to look for those items you wanted.
Splendid, splendid. So, show me what you've got, lad.
One cat paw for luck.
Marvelous. Let's just hope it brings us luck as well.
That will be all for now.
Oh, I got a dice for that. Okay, that's good.
Take care now.
Chat was very busy today. Let everyone get their breath back. Get a branch from the topping out. Yeah, okay. Okay. So that's back across the room. Okay. Michael! A Michael organism! There's my Michael organism. You're the finest Michael organism of them all. There are 600 100 trillion microorganisms, and you are the Michaelist. You are the Michaelist organism of them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a bow and a few arrows, I think. You have to do that in the dark, though. You don't have to kill Hotdog Henry. Hotdog Henry exists for balance. Hotdog Henry exists to offset all the lawful, good, ultra-gay paladins. We've discussed this. There were too many of them. That's why people called me. They said, Logan, you need to get you over here because there's like not enough bisexual representation. We're missing a lot of dialogue options that we put in the game, right? And people just aren't using them. They're just not seeing like 50% of the game because they're insisting on these lawful good gay paladin playthroughs. So it's just answering a call. I don't know if Hotdog Henry is rage bait. I think it's there to show that you know, there's a depth in this game that you can miss. If I am a warhorse plant, I am in very deep cover. I rode by it. It's not in here. What's that there? It's fried today behind the back of this thing.
Yeah.
Love and acceptance, right? To stand against bisexual evil erasure. That's the main point. I think Hotdog Henry is a definitive Henry. I mean, like, what's a more interesting character, really? You know, like, you want someone with, you know, who's got to like start off flawed. You know, you want to see the alchemical transformation. You don't want to see a Mary Sue. And it's very possible to do Henry as a Mary Sue, right? Oh, he's wandering around. Where are you, bro? That guy? Okay. Is that me? No.
My respects to you.
We're just beginning Act 2. We're before Merhied and everything.
Doesn't look good.
What? What are you talking
I'm a bit upset about my speech failure there. I think I need to get those drugs for
about
speech.
that?
John Lydgate and not a Mary Sue. No, I didn't know that. Right, I am beating him right here. I can see this. So if I've got 12 and he's got 9, I should win, right?
I overheard you in the tavern yesterday. If I were you, I'd let the blacksmith pull it.
Why?
I knew a man once who was in the same situation as you.
He's being emphatic.
His tooth was sore, and he was frightened to have it pulled.
And what happened to him?
Am I here to top this guy?
In the end, half his jaw almost fell out. So I wouldn't underestimate it.
That nearly happened to a friend of mine, actually.
But I can't go to the blacksmith.
This is true.
Don't tell me you're afraid.
Is that Kurt?
I am afraid.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
Kurt.
mind admitting it.
He's the psychic cop from
I'll
Ratai.
go with you and make sure you get out of there alive. You don't have to be embarrassed.
Yeah, it's just pure
Everyone
thought
in the
now. I
world
look
is
and
thinking of his teeth.
it's gone to
I
thought.
know, but even
All
so...
of it is just thought now.
Let's go then and get this over with.
Yeah, come on, mate. Wait, he says I've got to lead him. Why is he leading me then? Oh, you're pretty. Pretty ginger cows over there, Procopius. Land of milk, honey, and ginger cows. What is this guy doing? He has got the OG Henry colours on, yeah. He's a wannabe. He's a copycat. Are we going to the blacksmith? I got the dentist tomorrow. No, the day after. They come back with their very shiny Hollywood teeth. Fuck did he go?
Jesus, it's gonna be really painful, isn't it?
Yes, Kurt.
Don't worry. It will hurt a little, but then you'll feel relieved. You'll see.
If you say so.
Actors don't know days of the week. I haven't known the days of the week for a while, but it's to do with Kitten Beach, really. It's not to do with to life in Prague. I did lose all sense of time. Nah, it just makes you American, Mary. You guys have a very positive relationship with dentists, but the UK, it's a bit darker, I'm afraid. Lots of like medical experiments gone wrong. Built a culture of like fearing the dentist, but people, Americans, should understand what happened. And like my granddad, for instance, had all of his teeth removed and was given a pair of plastic teeth for his 18th birthday. I believe this is true. I've been told this several times. I cannot believe that happened to my granddad, you know. I know. That's what I know. They thought that was good. I know, it's mental as a present, I believe. My dad told me that again recently. Because they thought that was better, because they thought that the plastic teeth was an innovation, I believe. Yeah, right, this did happen, yeah. I don't think he had some kind of infection. They pulled healthy teeth. Yeah, I know, it's dark, right? And then obviously that boomer generation, the real boomers, not me, right, because I'm not a boomer. But the real boomers, they had like really horrific. It's quite pretty rain actually. There's quite a good simulation of Bohemian rain with the light coming through. It's great weather in this game.
Isn't that a waste of time?
Yeah, they put all the lead stuff in, right, and that was an absolute disaster. It's a bit like asbestos.
Are you mad? It won't go away. It'll just get worse.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a millennial, for God's sake.
Yes, you're right.
Kurt, you really don't want to go through with this, do you? Exhumer, I'm not an exhumer. Don't start calling me that. I'm gonna lie. Really? I'm not 79 years old, no. Amalgam, yeah, right, this stuff was disasters, and like people love to forget it because they think that like medicine and science is somehow like seriously, I don't get it. Jedi Knights and stuff. Look at titles of top 5 worst inventions ever.
It's embarrassing.
Like lead in petrol, you know? Like violence in the streets is a very, very established relationship between lead and petrol and violent crime. Oh, for God's sake.
We're almost there. Just be a man about it.
You're right. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Hold him tight.
Let's do it.
Ah, look.
Jesus
It's
Christ,
out.
The agony.
Hey, want to keep it to something, mate?
Oh, hey, Kristen.
I love it.
my sister is here, so say hello. She's in the chat, I believe. If it's her, and not some doppelganger of some form. Yo, 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 sister, what's up? All right. Say something to me that only I would know. Prove thyself, thy identity. Well, assuming it is her, not just someone like. Yeah, they were saying I was single child coded, whatever that means. Yeah, back me up on this. Didn't Grandad have his teeth removed? Right, healthy teeth. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if she's still there. Maybe she just poked her head in. But if she sees we're all talking, maybe. If you're there, back me up about the about Grandad's teeth. Yeah, here we go. All right. She's proved that it's her. Yeah, we're legendary bakers, the legendary baking family. But I think we're like the third child of a knight or something in the south of England, and then our family kind of breaks off. And this is what happens with these bastards. Like I said, if you're not the first son, right, you've really got to go and make it. You've already got to go and make your future for yourself. And this is what happened to this guy. So I think he had a bit of a kickstart, and then he just had to forge this bread empire on his own. And it's I know it gets even more weird than that. So our family fortune was destroyed after the First World War because there were like 13 of these kids or whatever, and a bunch of the Hillier boys were slaughtered, and this is why I'm kind of like, I'm very anti World War One. But yeah, the guys who were supposed to take over the company were basically killed. I understand it, and then the great grandmother who was kind of trying to run it. She became an alcoholic, is that right, Kristen? And then she is and she lost the money. She spent some of the money, yeah, and then she didn't invest in a bread slicing machine, and because that we didn't have a bread slicing machine, was that from up there? Our bread empire was destroyed. That's it. Yeah. So literally, when they say there is no better thing than sliced bread, or this is the best thing since sliced bread, which is a British expression, that's not true in our case. Sliced bread destroyed our bread empire because we were too slow to adapt new technology. Yeah. And now maybe I'm epigenetically gluten intolerant, right? That's what I think. There's some kind of like genetic memory that I've been somehow wronged by bread. Where is this? How do I get in here? Do I have to go in there? Is this door open as well? They leave all the doors open in this town. No, I know that's not how epigenetics work. I'm being silly. It's okay. I know that's not the case. They literally leave all the doors open, and they wonder why there are robbers everywhere. Okay, fine. Does someone want to guide me to the Necronomicon Part 2? I know, but I'm already in here now. Should I get the Necronomicon? I don't remember what color it is though. Everyone's asleep and they've left all the doors open. Okay. If things had worked out differently. Yeah, I know, but where am I now? I have to keep walking around the cloister. I don't have a lockpick! Oh, God. Alright. Cursed stream. I made too many mistakes, clearly. Cursed. Distracted by Thoth. I blame Thoth. Absolutely. 100% this is Thoth's fault. My failed stream. Alright, so where am I going? Round the scaffolding. Yeah. Isn't this a bit dark? No, I think I'm gonna leave that. Just leave that to next time. Logan Bridia. Is it easy to get to though? I can't see I can't see in the rain. This is Thoth. This is entirely Thoth's fault. There probably was a pun in there. All right. Okay. I have screwed this up for today. I am going to go and leave it in the pub and get some rest, and then come back and finish this tomorrow. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have a.
Yeah.
Ah. I think Michael DeHorst just. Curse stream. Okay, I like torture. Up there?
I feel quite hungry.
I am jealous of Thoths. I am. I'd love to be in House Thoth. It's exactly the right place for, you know, sapiosexuals. I probably don't have a bow, do I? Oh no, I do have the bow. Am I doing this right? Am I going all the way up? Yeah, okay. Look, I love House Mouse Van, don't get me wrong, it's one of my favourite houses for sure, but like, if you're talking about what you want to be, you know what I mean? It's like the Sorting Hat. I got Toth. I did the test the same as everybody else. I got Toth. I think it was kind of like well designed. I don't really want to take the test again. Yes. Yeah, well, you got Toth, right, Lady Murden? Right, where's this topping? Yeah, well, we knew you were Thoth straight away. It was so Thoth coded. Yeah. I did. I thought I remembered you got Thoth. Yeah. I thought that the test was the only thing wrong with the test was that it was over reading Thoths, and maybe there should have been a few more Goths. The wall on the left. This wall? Aha, there it is. Okay, and I have to shoot that. Jeez, what? Got too much philosophy, man. I can't see. Mousefan's not NPC coded. Where'd you get that from? Wait, can someone just help me with the archery here? What am I actually firing at? What am I firing at? They're not cannon fodder, they're cavalry. They're not cannon fodder. The glass bandits are the cannon fodder. Did that win? Should be on the ground. Okay, alright. Yeah, I know, just to get rid of them, though. It wasn't actually to achieve, like, the Goths are the shock troops. Glass Bandits are like, if you ever played Warhammer 40k, I imagine the Glass Bandits were actually like Goblin fanatics, the goblins with the big ball and chain. It's like Fantasy Battle. They're just like go, Rah! And you throw them at the enemy line. The three Glass Bandits we had. Meowsfan's great. Meowsfan's like the cavalry that come in at the end, you know. The problem with Nicopolis is they used Meowsfan first. They squandered the Meowsfan. They squandered the cavalry. They should have let the Valax and the Goths basically go first, because the Goths were good at doing that, and Meowsfan weren't. But Meowsfan, you know, the French in this particular situation, bending my metaphors here, charged in and we lost all the cavalry, and then we lost. Yeah, wasn't there a new one? And then I don't know if we used that one, but there was a new Glass Bandit. But I thought I got rid of them all in Cyrodiil. Whoa, wait, we need to... Right. Okay, we got the topping out. We're good. We got it all. Alright, I am going to have to go now. It's 5 o'clock, so I'm going to be late. Right, the problem is I don't... Oh, Total War... yes, on the computer I can play it. But... I'm not amazing at it, to be honest. I prefer the tabletop. And I never really liked Fantasy Battle that much. Or 40k. I played Epic, and that was where all my energy went, really. The money. Into Epic. Civ 4 teaching stream, I don't know, because I have to relearn Civ 4. Do Civ 6 is fine. Yeah. If you don't know how to play and you want a teaching stream with me of Civ 6, I can do it, but like... who's this guy? He's shady as fuck. Oh, no, they have plague.
Mercy, sir.
Yeah, you enjoyed it? Okay, yeah, sorry, it wasn't very high on octane today. I've literally just wandered around, not really done much. I will aim to do a bit more tomorrow. I just completed one very minor side quest there, so yeah. And hopefully we got something. Yeah, I've been Henry's been faffing about. I've been chatting with the Thoths. I hope it hasn't been in vain. I hope you got something useful out of it. If I've not annoyed you too much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Let's leave that there. No. I know how to play Civ. Or are you just recommending someone else? I'm happy to do one if there's interest. I'll happily show you how I play Civ. I'm pretty good at it. But the problem is that when you go, because the AI is terrible on Civ 6. Once you go above a certain level, it really depends how you handle this kind of barbarian rush at the start, or you get a particular location. And that's not particularly interesting, I'm afraid. All right, okay. So I will let you go. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the morrow.